Hard-Off used to be one of the best places in Japan to find retro games. These days it's a lot more hit or miss, so today we're checking out this store to see if we can find anything interesting. We have a Neo O for 99,000 yen, and right next to it a Sega Multi-Mega complete in-box for 352,000 yen. The lower shelf is filled with 2DS and 3DS with a price range between 12,000 and 39,000 yen. There are also some DS lights on the shelf below. We also got Game Boy Advance, a Hello Kitty GBA chilling out, a milky pink screen covered GBA, and Game Boy Colors. Below that we have two PS1 consoles, PSPs and PS Vita. On the lowest shelf we have a PlayStation Portal for 29,700 yen and a PC Engine chilling out in the corner. We have two Nintendo Switch 2 consoles complete in box for 49,500 yen, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined and Animal Crossing. There's a Pikachu Nintendo 64 console for 55,000 yen, and some other Pokemon editions such as 3DS Eevee edition and a Pokemon Center Game Boy Color. On the lower shelf we have a Sakura Wars Game Boy Color in box, Game Boy Advance games at high price, and Pokemon games for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. On the lowest shelf there are some Famicom and Super Famicom mini consoles. I've noticed there are more Switch consoles stacking up now after the release of Switch 2. There's even an Animal Crossing Switch edition. Beneath this there was a GameCube with a Game Boy player for 8,800 yen. It's really discolored for sunlight perhaps. There were two silver GameCubes next to it for the same price. Also, there was a Nintendo 64 and a Super Famicom complete in-box for 8,800 yen. Those prices are an absolute steal. A standard Nintendo 64 for 6,600 yen and a clear red Nintendo 64 console wrapped up. For 9,900 it is a bargain considering clear colors usually go for around 14,000. I found a Super Famicom carrying case. The logo has almost completely come off, but I believe this is a Super Mario Collection soft cabinet. You can fit a Super Famicom console and a bunch of games inside. Next we have a yellowed Sega Saturn Model 2 for 6,600 yen and a Predator Saturn for 14,300. There's also a Saturn Model 1 wrapped in plastic for 13,200 and a 3200 model complete in-box for 22,000. Down at the bottom is a Dreamcast console for 9,900 yen. In the next showcase we have a Sharp Twin Famicom for 33,000 yen, two Famicom disk systems complete in box for 15,000 to 11,000 yen, and a Game Fireband for 11,000. A Mega Drive Model 1 console with a controller for 13,200, a PC Engine Core Graphics 2 complete in box for 22,000, and a bunch of Game & Watch consoles. There's also a copy of Samurai Spirits for Neo Geo in the background. A Golden Retro Freak console complete in-box for 44,000 yen. And a new Love Plus 3DS edition complete in-box for 66,000. In the junk corner we have a red Twin Famicom that can play cartridges but not the disk system discs. There's also a junk PC Engine and a bunch of broken DS, DS Lites and 3DS handhelds. Below there are a bunch of broken Switch and Switch lights. In most cases they are fixable, you just need to have the knowledge and skill to repair them. Same goes for these broken Game Boy Advance and Game Boys. There's also a broken Metal Gear Solid PS4 for 22,000 yen and a broken Panasonic MSX2 for 22,000. Lastly we have a broken Sega Mega Drive 2 console for 4,400 yen. Moving on to games, first off we have Famicom and Super Famicom Rock Band games for really good prices. Famicom games like Law of the West for 6,050 yen, Masho aka Deadly Towers and Tsuppari Wars for 16,500 yen. There's a copy of Kyatto Ninden Teande with a ripped box for 55,000 yen and Wetrix for 19,800. Famicom cartridges SD KG Blader, Adventure Island 4 and Chip 'n Dale 2 for 11,000 yen. Now these are the legit rare PS2 games, Twinkle Star Sprites and Thunder Force 6. There's also Thunder Force 5 for the PlayStation. Here are Saturn games at a higher price end: Batsugun, Guardian Force and Metal Black. Heading over to the PS2 shelf, most of the games here had fair or common prices. There certainly were some prices that were a huge steal. Starting with the common bargains that can be worth it for fun, Sony published mech RPG Armodyne for 2,200 yen. The King of Fighters 2003 with scratches for 1,650 yen. Great if you want to play it, but not a collector's investment. Zone of the Enders, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Rockman X7 for 1,100 yen each. These are standard hard-off shelf prices, very common and easy to find anywhere for this price. Next are the fair price games. Project Zero aka Fatal Frame for 4,400 yen. This is exactly what you should expect to pay for the first entry in the series. Soul Eater Battle Resonance for 3,300 yen. It's not really rare, but it's a great price. Hayarigami for 1,320 yen. This is actually a very good price for the game, even if it's not rare. Bushin Zero Wizardry Alternative Neo for 5,500 yen. This is a fair price for the sequel to the original Bushin. And lastly, Tales of Destiny Director's Cut for 3,300 yen. Namco printed plenty of these, but 3,300 is fair. A game that was overpriced was Shadow of Memories for 1,100 yen. It's a best price copy, missing a manual, so definitely not worth it. Lastly, there were the games for an absolute steal price. Fragments Blue for 5,500 yen. This is a late-era Kadokawa adventure game, valued around 8,000 to 10,000 yen. Street Fighter Zero Fighters Generation for 3,500 yen. This is a great local price because Mandarake and Super Potato will sell it for double the price. Over at the GameCube shelf we have Dobutsu Bancho aka Kirby War with a damaged manual and sleeve for 2,750 yen. The US copy is much rarer. The Japanese version is usually priced around 1,500 yen to 2,000 yen. Biohazard 4 for 2,200 yen, a very standard price considering this sold millions. Hikaru no Go 3 for 1,950 yen is the cheapest in-store price. Rockman XC transmission for 1,650 yen. This is actually a very good price. While it's not rare, it often creeps up to 3,000 yen in Tokyo shops. Hudson's Selection are a total steal for 4,400 yen. Volumes 3 and 4 hit 38,000 yen easily. In the 2026 3DS market, Japanese physical copies have remained relatively affordable compared to the Western counterparts, but there are a few specific wins worth a mention. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for 3,300 yen. While the original Sun and Moon are common and cheap, the Ultra versions have climbed significantly. Rockman Classics Collection for 3,300 yen is a very stable price. In 2026 the market for physical Rockman titles is only going up, and this title sells for 3,000 to 5,000 yen. Kirby Air Riders for 7,700 yen. I've seen this on sale for 5,000 at Surugaya. We've got Xenoblade Cross Definite Edition for 4,950 yen. You can get this at Surugaya for 3,600 yen if you want it. As for PSP games, that really stood out was the real budget pickup for the Trails series. Trails to Azure, Trails in the Sky SC, and the third can be picked up for as little as 330 to 550 yen. The Ark of Napishtim for 4,400 yen. Moving on to the showcase, they've got Kirby 2 for the Game Boy at 4,400 yen, which is way overpriced. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance for 4,400 yen. It usually goes for 7,500 yen in-store, so that's a huge steal. They've got Super Sprint Loose Cartridge for 4,400 yen, Cotton 100% for 5,060 yen, Beam Rider for the MSX 7,700 yen, huge steal. Next is Super Famicom games, R-Type for 4,400 yen, Sailor Moon R for 3,300 yen, Rockman X for 9,900 yen. This was in the showcase for 5,500 yen, so that's a better price. As for the Famicom games, we've got Majou Densetsu 2 Garios for a fair price of 4,400 yen, Boston Boots for 3,300 yen, Nakayoshi Daisaksen for 3,300 yen, Super Load Runner for 2,200 yen, which is really good. In conclusion, Hard-Off isn't what it used to be. It's definitely more hit and miss these days, but if you have the right knowledge, you can still find some great deals. Don't miss my other videos where I check out more game stores.